Today's video is all about healing, and I just want to take you through the exact steps that I use to heal from critical injuries. Some of you know that I had critical head injuries, skull fractures, and broke my back. Spent a week in a coma and had radical facial reconstructive surgery with more than 40 pieces of titanium put into my face. And the opinion of all the medical experts that I spoke with, from doctors to physios to chiropractors to neuropsych assessments to occupational therapists to neurologists, all the opinions came back the same. And I was told that I would have permanent pain, always have pain and disability, and that my back and my brain wouldn't be able to heal. So I get asked, probably more than any other question I get asked is, how did you heal yourself? And how was I up and walking 5 days after that coma? So when I was in that coma, some understanding or information downloaded into me that wasn't there beforehand. It wasn't there before my near-death experience. But as soon as I came out, I knew instantly, in every piece of my being, in every cell of my body, I knew that I was going to heal, that I would be able to heal, and that everything was going to be all right. And I also knew that if I allowed any counter thought, so any antagonistic thought to enter into my consciousness, I knew I wouldn't heal. So as the doctors started doing their rounds and all the specialists started coming to see me, and I just knew that every time they would give their prognosis, their opinion, I had to just be deaf, completely deaf. And internally I kept saying to myself, thank you for your opinion. I honor the work you do. I respect you as a professional, but you're talking about another patient. And that means 110% conviction. So when you're able to hold that level of belief in yourself, then you're able to step into heightened emotions. You're able to feel immense joy and gratitude and love. And it's the feeling that creates the healing. When we have disease and we have injury, we have a lowering of the actual frequency of the cells in the human body. So what I mean by that is, ultimately everything around you is energy. It's all energy. We know this. It's been spoken about for thousands of years by spiritual teachers, and confirmed just in the last 100 years or so by cutting edge quantum physics. It's absolutely irrefutable that all apparently solid objects, which includes your body, aren't solid at all. You are 99.99999999999% nothing physical. That's the law. Atoms are empty space, and atoms come together, and they're making up the chemicals and the molecules that form the cells. And each one of those 70 trillion cells comes together and makes you, the human body. Okay, the cells create the organs and the muscles and all the different systems of the human body. And whenever there's like in my case with a horrific critical injuries, a huge injury to the body like that, the actual atoms that are animating the cells, giving energy to the cells so that life can be expressed, there's a lessening of frequency. Basically, atoms are spinning. They're like little vortices of energy that have spin. There's a rotation there. And as they lower that frequency down, there's less energy, there's less information for the body to function together in coherence, in order, in rhythm. So when we have this, like in my case, a huge injury, there's like a dissonance or a lack of rhythm in the communication between the 70 trillion cells, between the systems of the body. And through the law of resonance or the law of entrainment, by moving into immense joy for existence and immense love for this incredible life, and knowing, see, the belief is the precursor. If you don't believe that a healing could take place, it won't take place. Because we will basically surrender to the diagnosis and move into fear. We'll move into the stress response, which is the opposite to what the body needs. Okay, stress patients, it's been proven scientifically, can take up to twice as long to heal, and sometimes they never heal because of the stress response. But by embodying love, by feeling that emotion, we're able to actually entrain, through the law of resonance, the amplitude of energy that all these little vortices that make up the atoms, that make up the cells, that make up the tissues, that make up the systems, that make up your human body. There's an increase in the amplitude of energy, and there's an increase in the actual electromagnetic field that's being produced around the human body. And if you can hold that and hold that and hold that and keep coming back to that, then in my case, apparently, injuries that can't be healed, critical injuries, were healed. I have no pain at all. There's no pain in my back. I broke my right shoulder as well. I broke my scapula, and I've got absolutely no pain whatsoever, which is diametrically opposed to what all the doctors and the orthopedic surgeons said about, just even this shoulder. But the belief is the precursor. The belief has to be 110%. And then you're able to move into that feeling, and the feeling creates the healing, because emotions are energy in motion, quite literally. You can see a change in the electromagnetic signature when we move into different emotional states. And the HeartMath Institute of California have shown this, they've proven this scientifically, that when we move into reactivity or stress and that fear, like if it's, an opinion about your ability to heal, like what I got given by an expert, and you get stressed and worried, they measure this electromagnetic field being produced by the heart, and it contracts. It contracts to, as they found, as small as 1 centimeter away from your body. And you're in that fear, you're in that stress response, the fight or flight nervous system. And long-term stress continues to knock the body out of balance. And so the body can't do what it needs to do. The innate intelligence within the human body that gave you 25 trillion cells since you've been watching this video, and it's been beating your heart and regulating your immune system and cardiovascular system. Beyond your conscious awareness, that intelligence can then take over. But it needs help from us, okay? And conversely, this electromagnetic field the HeartMath Institute of California, when they found these study participants moving into love and moving into deep gratitude to be alive, that this same electromagnetic field would expand. And it would grow and grow and grow, meters and meters, over 6 meters from the human body. Okay, so it's there's an increase in the amplitude of the energy being produced by the human body. And it's a tricky thing when it comes to healing, but I guess in my case, in my story, it was a promise I made to my mum. And that's that. Nothing comes in between that. I promised my mum that I would heal and that I would completely change my life, and that every one of these doctors was incorrect. And I could feel it in my heart. Every time I came up with a challenge, and every time I thought this is insurmountable, and all the ups and downs, and having my face cut and peeled off to rebuild it, somehow I kept coming back to a promise for my mum. And that's stronger, that's more. This is the willpower, the conviction that's required. So that's how I was able to do it. I maintained that immense joy and love, and kept moving into it, and kept moving into it, and kept moving into it, and kept being deaf to the opinions. And there has been hundreds of experts and professionals and doctors and friends and people in the public that have said to me, oh, you're going to be stuffed forever, or you're going to have pain forever, or that's going to get worse, or you can't heal that nerve inside your skull. Or I've heard it all. And as I said before, the information that came into my consciousness during my near-death experience in that coma is greater than whatever degree or position you play in society, or whatever you think you know about my body. Ultimately, I've proven every single one of these people wrong, because I know my body. I know what I'm capable of. And I wasn't willing to hand that over to someone else. I wasn't going to let someone else claim that they knew more than my body. I wouldn't have it. So that's how I've come to this point now. Hopefully that's been enlightening. We could talk a lot more about how epigenetic changes take place, how our biochemistry changes through a change in our state of consciousness, the impact of emotion on our immune function, but all of that's for another video. But if you want to find out more and you want to read my story, Limitless, Reconnecting with the Infinite Power Within, there'll be a link down below. If these videos have inspired you and touched you in some way, and you'd like to show your support for all the work I put into this, then there'll be a link below where you can make a donation. Got my heart activation meditation available now. The video book is also available for Limitless, and live events. If you head to damienhorton.com/workshops. And I also offer mindset coaching one-on-one, you and me, with whatever it is you're going through in life at the moment. And music lovers, Spotify or your favorite streaming service, and you can check out the music that I've been making these last 3 or 4 years. So that's it. Much love, guys, wherever you are in the world. Have an epic day. This is what we've got. We've got the now. We've got this present moment. And sometimes, there's a whole lot of weight it feels like that's placed upon us. And sometimes, we're just in that flow state. But ultimately, regardless of how we label the present moment, life is now. It's always now. It's never too late to make change. It's never too late to follow that dream you have inside yourself. I'm living proof of that. So that's it. Much love, guys.